Okay, so after the European heartbreak in Sunday's video, we've had time to reflect. We're going to look at, I've got the spreadsheet out ready and raring to go. We're going to have a look at the tactic first. We're going to look at what players are going, which players we know are coming in, which players we want to try and sign. And yeah, for you nerds of the sort of like the series, one you'll definitely enjoy. All right, guys, smash a like on today's video. Give me your thoughts about how the season, the progression, how the spreadsheet's looking. There's some few weird statistics in there that we'll have a little look at as well. Let me know your thoughts, as always, down in the comments. All right, guys, let's go. Okay, so it was obviously an 8th place finish. Best season that we've had so far. Scoring more goals, I think, than we ever... 46, I'm not sure. We'll have a look in a minute. But a nice point barrier. We are a number of points off next season. We are a number of points off the teams in front. 11 points off Groningen. 14 off NAC. But I do honestly think we can catch those teams. I would be a little bit worried about Heerenveen and Utrecht. Teams that are probably slightly bigger than us. So something that we just need to keep our eye on ahead of next season. But I am really excited potentially about players that I've already seen, players that are already coming in, how the tactic has looked. I think we can obviously be better defensively. We've had a stinking end to the season, conceding 3-2, 4-3 and 4. Now, I was thinking, we spoke about in last week's video about changing the tactic and having a little bit of having sort of like a 3-4-3 or even chopping it to a 4-2-3-1 and having 2 sitters and a cam. But I want to keep with this. I've enjoyed how it's looking. I want to build the side around it. I think we need to improve in quality in certain areas. Obviously, players like Collard, De Jong, we need to improve in the half-back area. He's going to be a nice little backup, but you know, his physical stats, his defending his attributes are a little bit way off. He's 5'6". I think we need someone a little bit more solider in there. Goalkeeper we're covered. I think we can improve in the centre-half area, potentially. We've got Junior and Baz, but I think we do need to bring someone in. We've got Levi Colwell, who will probably come in. He's going to be sort of like a left centre-half / backup for left wing-back, but I still think, you know, it might even be Junior and Baz, still might be the main two. So potential there, depending on what we can get rid of. Laird is going to be the right-back. We're going to try and get out of the door Dina Mbembe, or whatever it is, Dina Ebi, we'll call him Junior Dina. He's hopefully going. He's got a decent value. I'm not too bothered about the value. I don't think we'll get anywhere near that because look at his attributes. Absolutely nowhere near. 6.79. He's been with us a couple of years now. 2 seasons, not produced anything. 3 assists in 44 games. Bearing in mind that he's played at right wing back. He's played at right back, but we're asking him to do a little bit. We was hoping he was going to prove to be a decent signing. That's not the case. He's also on £8,000 a week. Big amount of money for us. Okay, so we need to strengthen at right back. Ethan Laird will be a nice little backup, can do both sides, but I do want to strengthen at right back. Happy with the goalkeeper situation, but we are losing Mulder, who no doubt is going on a free transfer, might even retire at the end of the season. My other backup keeper, I want to give him a season in the reserves again, because he's still only sort of like 18, so we want him moved across. So we're going to try and bring in maybe a goalkeeper, hopefully a Dutch goalkeeper as well. So a little bit of work to be done there, a little bit of squad padding, main halfback. I'm quite happy in the midfield. We're obviously going to have Collard next season. He's going to go from strength to strength. Interested to see how his numbers go over the next few seasons. We do need to get him to improve on his finishing and his dribbling. So we may look at that. Tackling's okay. That will get better, but he is 6'3". He's not the quickest, but I think he's definitely going to he's going to be one of our main midfielders next year. We'll see them attributes improve with him being exposed to more game time. We've also got Mouvier, who was a massive miss in the European playoff games. He will come in, be a central midfielder and attack, no problem. Will no doubt have a fantastic season. We've got a little bit of an issue potentially coming up with him. Only 2 years left in his deal. I don't want to offer him a new deal just yet because he's already on 725. And whatever we offer him, I don't think is going to be enough. So I'm just waiting, holding out until potentially there is an issue. We'll try and, you know, maybe around January time in Season 5, we may look at offering him a new deal. But we've just got to be careful that if we're looking at moving on to the next level, do we really want to be stuck with these players on big contracts and not being able to get out of the door? Now, we've really struggled to get Tedic out of the door. Not even wanted all season. Has played 2 sub-appearances. He's been on £8,250 a week. A lot of money. And at the same time as well, Uldrikis has played 3 sub-appearances. £8,000 a week. And then at the same time, Noel is leaving on a free, but he's on £6,000. So there is a lot of money there. What's that? Maths. Over to what? 22 grand? £22,000 a week on 3 players that are not even kicking a football. So we need to change that. Troy Parrott isn't going to be a starting wing back for us next season, but wing back, outside inverted winger, but will be a nice little backup striker, can play either side. We get to have about 9 or 10 substitutes, will be a decent player. I may have a little cheeky punt at just transfer listing him and see what comes. If nothing is immediately springs up and people are interested, I'll quickly take him back off and he can be a squad player. So I may just do that because it would free up a lot of money, once again, wages. And then, if we got like 5 million for him, that would be absolutely amazing. I don't think he's worth it. He's had a decent run. Second half of the season, he's done okay for us. Notched up 3 assists from that left-hand side. But we have got, obviously, quality coming in the summer to replace him. And then Van Hooijdonk has led the line really well. Stinker in the playoffs, didn't score, but 25 goals for the season. Really good striker. I do think we need to get maybe another striker in, a backup who is ready. I would like Kay Mosa to go out on loan next year. He's only still 19. He's not 20 but he's just not played enough. He's had 22 appearances, but 21 of those have been, 20 of those have been from the substitutes bench. He's not scored a goal. I want to send him somewhere where he can just score goals. He's got 14 pace, 13 first touch, 13 work rate, couple of good physical and mental attributes as well. Passing 5 is a little bit of an issue, but I think he could turn into a decent poacher. He's got good physical build as well, 6'1". So he may be of use for us. He's come through our youth system as well. So I would like to keep hold of Kay Mosa, but I do think he needs to go out on loan next season. Someone as well who we're just training up a little bit now is Danny Dumoulin. We got him for 100k. He's not played much, only 14 appearances, but we are training him as being a Mazzala next year, so he can be a little bit of a backup with Collard and rotate around. He's got the vision potentially for it, first touch, dribbling, so he'll be good at getting into sort of like these attacking sort of like wider areas. We'll see, 16 flair, 15 composure, 16 aggression. He's got a few decent physicals on the way up. Only 18 years old, so soon to be 19. So we'll monitor him. I don't think he's going to turn into an absolute worldie, but he'll be a nice little backup. Good enough as well. Probably definitely good enough for this level. He does need a lot of work in terms of retraining, so I do need to try and get him in as much as possible, get him some game time in the centre of midfield during next season. And then we've got a whole host of players, Mbembe said's going, hopefully Tedic will go, Deji's going, Lanzana's going. Alvaro Henry is okay, but look, his technicals, just technically not good enough. When he comes in, he actually does a job. He's on £450 a week. He's going to stay for next season, then we'll make a decision on him. Obviously, as we progress, we really want a little bit more quality than that if we want to push on. Braff will no doubt stay. He'll just be a little bit of a backup for us, can do either side, and he is Dutch. We are really struggling with getting Dutch players in, proving to be a big problem, especially when we're losing Mulder, Dej, and Lanzana. Next, is Lanzana Dutch? Yes, he's Dutch. There's 3 guaranteed Dutch players going out of the door. Vermeulen is Dutch as well and will be leaving in the summer because we're going to get strengthened in other areas. He hasn't played. He's wanted. We'll cash in on him. We'll get some money on him. Hartman, another Dutch player, nowhere near really the quality. It was we were slim pickings last season. He's okay. He'll probably stay with us until his contract. He's got 2 years left. I am not going to transfer list him. I'll leave him just so he pads the squad out a little bit. Hove will no doubt stay because I've tried to sell him a few times and he hasn't gone. He's only got 1 year left on his deal, so we'll let him stay. He can play right for us. He can play central midfield, so he can stay for us. Morelos is an interesting one. I've got an eye on a couple of players that I would like to bring in. So Morelos in particular may struggle. We may look at transfer listing him. He had a really good start to the season when we signed him in January. Petered off a little bit, but we'll see. 4-3 a week. It's not major, but he has got a little bit of value considering we only paid 100k for him. Him and Parrott have done a job for us, but we really need to progress next season. I can see him being sort of like the number 2 next year as a winger, and then we'll look at progressing and trying to sign a better, bright starting winger. All right, that is the squad. We have already got in Vermeulen is coming in, a youngster. He was part of our youth system, actually, and it's just one of those players that I've signed after sort of like the youth intake was in. So he's coming in, not great. We've signed David Voeta. He's coming from Ajax, getting released by Ajax just to pad our reserves out a little bit. Dutch players with a little bit of potential. And we're also signing Shadrach Ebite, striker. He's just turned 20, 14 pace, 13 finish. It's just something for our reserves. And obviously the big one we spoke about in the last one, the Rami is coming in, left inverted winger, going to be a little bit of a superstar for us next season. Now, the board have given us not much money. We've only got 3.8 to spend, but hopefully, if we can get bodies out of the door, if we just very quickly look at the wages, if we can get Tedic and Bimbe, Uldrikis, Knowles going out of the door, there is going to be money to be played with there. Potentially selling value as well. Tedic, Uldrikis and Mbembe have a little bit of value. Parrot as well. So we may be able to strengthen. I'm not really looking at selling anyone else down here apart from a couple of them backups that we spoke about, but they really don't hold any value. I think Mulder's, where's Mulder? Mulder's there. He's on $2,000. These players like him on $2,000. Deji's on 1.7. Lanzana 1.5. Vermeulen is on 1.9. So when it all adds up, you get rid of those 4 players that have hardly played. That adds a quality player to our starting 11. So fingers crossed this year is going to be the year where we really strengthen. We want to get, I think, 8th the minimum. I think Groningen may not, NEC in particular, may not have a stronger season, especially if they get into Europe, they may struggle. I think our tactic is okay, and as I said, we'll make that starting 11 so much stronger ahead of next season. We've done jobs, we've signed players late just to do a job because we haven't had any wingers in. Troy Parrott, not a winger. Braff, not good enough. And other players have done a job. Van Hooydonk's even gone out there at times. So I think we'll be okay once we get strengthened. All right, let's dive into the spreadsheet. Okay, so here it is. I've managed to add a couple of things to it. We've got the wage budgets in and the finances in terms of profit, loss made. I've backtracked through a few videos to get the first season one as well. These sums are done once the game ticks over officially. They're not obviously 100% because you do get that. I find it really stupid. When you sign a player and he comes at the start of the transfer window in the summer, like the start of June, I always think that should roll over to the next season. But it doesn't. It should really be 1st of June to 31st of May. That's how I think it should work in FM, but it doesn't. But anyway, we get a decent idea of numbers. So, budget has gone up a lot over the last, the budget has doubled. And what that has been the case, not so much because we've had money coming in, but all the player sales that we've made, Willemsen, a couple of £1 million, and a couple of others, 500k, 600k. It's all been put basically into the wages. That's where we've managed to get the wages up. And as you can see, where is the wages? I haven't put a rank on that. 9th. So we've jumped up a fair bit there. Obviously, as you can see with the table, we're miles off. 82 million. We do, we want to be competing. We need to get up into this Europa League place. Utrecht, who we've finished a lot higher than this year. They're on a one of £10 million, so nearly, a budget of 40% more than us. It's a lot of money. It's a lot of money. So fingers crossed we can keep developing. Our wage budget will go up again because any player sales will try and work on free transfers more rather than making signings, I think. Okay, so that is, let me just put that in, 9th. Okay, so finances over the 4 years, we've had a profit, and that's mainly become of Willemsen, the profit that we made on him. I think that has obviously tipped us over the edge. Did we make any other sales during the season that I can't remember? Obviously, we'd have had a little bit more money from Gate Money. Yeah, 1.5. Leon Oppenham, yeah, we've only spent 100k, so maybe that's it. That's where we've made profit. Media prediction was 14th. It's been 14th for the last 3 years, so a finish of 8th. Really happy. The board should be happy with that. We've not won as many games. We have recorded the most amount of points, 49, beating our previous best of 46. 9th and 10th again in terms of goals, so not amazing. 46, we do need to improve on that. I really like a positive goal difference, but it has improved. The best goal difference we've had, -3. Let's see if we can get a positive number in Season 5. Into the possession stats, we've had a little bit of a mix because we've changed the tactic a little bit. We've gone to a little bit more higher tempo instead of slow tempo, so I imagine some of the numbers not to be as good. But to be fair, they aren't bad. 58 possession, our best, joint best, so we're still keeping the ball. We are passing shorter. We've not changed the directness of it. We're still passing short. We've just tried to improve tempo. And I do think in FM, low tempo and higher tempo, you don't see much in terms of possession stats. but I do think it will help us creatively next season. It's in particular because we're playing with hopefully some brilliant wide players. All right, passes, fourth again, 19,000, our third best out of the 4 years, but it's in around the same numbers. Final passes into the final third, 1,864, a massive drop off from the first 2 seasons, but better than last year. I am expecting that to be into the 2000s next year when we're a little bit more creative and we're playing with this tactic all through the season, when we've only kind of changed this tactic during the January transfer window. So we're going to have a full season playing with this tactic. So it'll be interesting to see what those numbers are like. Attacking, we've had good numbers compared to last year where we were the worst team in the division in terms of attacking. 1.35 goals per game, the best so far. Expected goals as well, we've created the most, 44.68, but we're still, lots of 9s and 10s and 11s in this. We're still that middle third of the division. We really need to try and kick on next season. Goals from corners. Chances, 85, the joint most we've ever created. We want to get 100 next year. 100 is the target. Shots, 443, the best that we've had by a country mile. So obviously we're trying to be I think we've been a little bit more creative. Obviously the little bit more creative. We're maybe shooting from, because we've got wide players coming in. We've got more players in attacking areas. We've got some more attacking players in the central midfield. You know, Mazzala and a central midfielder on attack are always going to probably shoot more than what we've been having in terms of those playmakers. And conversion rate, 10%, not bad, in and around bog standard once again, that middle 10th, 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th area. And then defending, 50 goals, expected XG, 50. So I think we do need to bring that down a little bit. Obviously, the last 5 games have kind of killed a lot of these statistics for the defensive because we've had a little bit of a shocker, haven't we, with the amount of goals that we've conceded. Goals conceded from corners, 1. Good. I haven't done any. I'm going to be totally honest. I haven't done anything. I imagine it's just maybe the type of players we've got. Van Hooijdonk, Parrott, Serrano back into the team. Maybe just better defensively because we're maybe of a bigger size. That's all I can probably pinpoint on that. Clean sheets, 7. Not great. We want more than that next season. Obviously, we're expecting us to be better, but I think it does depend on the quality we can bring in. Tackles, 658. In around sort of like the same numbers as last season, but we've second best that we've had. Tackles won, 75%, so in around the same numbers. We're kind of doing the same stuff. We're asking the same stuff as well. We're still pressing high. We're still trying to get stuck in a little bit, so these numbers won't change. PPDA has gone down, but in terms of jumped up for us, so we're pressing still really well. I think that really helps because we're playing with the 3. We're playing with the 3 up there that are covering the wide areas a little bit. And we've also got, obviously, the central midfield and Mazzala a little bit high. We've probably got more players in that sort of like attacking third, defensive third for the opponents. So that's probably why that is so good. So it'd be nice to see that maybe even prove next season. And then sprints, third in division. Our team is still working considerably hard. Pressing, working hard off the ball. And fingers crossed we can have that move over into season 5. So it's quality needed. We're going to be pragmatic in the transfer window, but I need to just make sure we don't make the same mistakes with transfers. We've had horrendous mistakes with Oldrakis and Tedic and Mbembe, 22 grand a week going out, and we've hardly, 24 grand and then 29, 30 grand if you include Knoll, with those 4 players that we desperately want to get out of the door. That could really transform our squad. There'll be lots of players to pick from. I'm going to go diving into Belgium once again. I'm also going to go diving into sort of like players released across the big leagues in England, Spain, Italy and Germany. See what the big clubs are releasing. Can we pick something up? I've also got my eye on a Turkish wonder kid. I think I can do a deal for him. He's got 1 year left on his deal. He's not wanted by anyone. I'm literally going to probably spend our whole budget with maybe some staggered payments to make sure we guarantee to get this boy through the door. You will hopefully meet him on Sunday night transfer special ahead of season 5 and the opening game of the season. All right, guys, I hope you've enjoyed that. Let me know your thoughts about the tactic, the team, the replacement, not so much the replacements, but what we need to do to get this going. I think we're on the cusp of really pushing this team on now. We've had 4 seasons steadily building. We need to kick on. Fingers crossed that'll be in season 5. All right, guys, thanks for watching. Take care. See you later.